Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. In a small quiet room with blue walls and a big window, Alex had a secret. When the sun went down and the stars began to twinkle, he liked to open a hidden part of his closet. Behind his usual jeans and shirts, there was a section most people didn't know about. It was filled with colorful dresses, soft and pretty. Tonight, Alex looked at his collection and picked out a dress that was as bright as a summer day. It was yellow and had tiny red flowers all over it. It looked like it was made of sunshine and happiness. He gently took it out and laid it on his bed. Next to the dresses, there was a drawer. Inside, there were things like soft bras and panties. Alex liked how they felt, so different from what he usually wore. He picked out a white set. They were simple but made him feel good. On the bottom half, instead of the usual nylons, he decided on white socks that went up to his knees. They were soft and made a quiet swishing sound when he walked. Alex carefully put on the yellow dress. It fit him perfectly. The dress came down to his knees, and when he spun around, it would fly out in a circle. He loved that feeling. It was like he was dancing in the middle of a flower field. But the dress was only one part. On his desk, there was a big mirror, and next to it, a box filled with makeup. He opened it and saw all the colors inside. There were things to put on his eyes, lips, and cheeks. Alex wasn't an expert, but he liked to try. He took out a small bottle of foundation, which was like paint for the face. It made his skin look smooth. Then he put on some pink blush on his cheeks. It made him look like he had just run around in a park. For his eyes, he chose a brown shade, simple and nice. And finally, for his lips, he selected a shade that looked like strawberries. Now, there was one more thing. In the corner of his room, on a stand, was a wig. It was long, brown, and wavy. It looked like the kind of hair you'd see in a fairy tale. Alex always felt a thrill when he wore it. He carefully put it on, adjusting it until it sat perfectly. Looking in the mirror, he felt happy. The boy in the jeans had changed into someone else, someone who felt more like the real Alex. In this outfit, Alex would do many things. Sometimes he'd read stories about princesses and dragons. Other times he'd dance to music, feeling the dress swirl around him. And sometimes he would just sit and dream of a world where he could be this Alex all the time. The hours went by quickly. The night outside turned darker, and the room's lights made everything feel cozy. Alex was in the middle of reading a story about a magical forest when there was a soft sound. It was a knock on his door. Alex's heart raced. He hadn't expected anyone. He took a deep breath and looked towards the door, wondering who it might be. The knock on the door had startled him. He wasn't ready to face the outside world, not yet. But he knew he couldn't hide forever. Gathering his courage, he walked over to the door, each step feeling heavier than the last. He remembered all the times he had played out this moment in his mind, wondering how it would go. Would they laugh? Would they understand? Or would they tell him to stop? He took a deep breath. It was time to find out. The knock sounded again, softer this time. Alex's hand hesitated on the doorknob. He took one more deep breath and opened the door just a little. Peeking inside was his mother, her eyes wide with surprise. She looked at Alex, then at the room, taking in all the details, the bright yellow dress, the makeup, the wig. For what felt like a long time, nobody spoke. The room was so quiet, you could hear a pin drop. Finally, his mother said, "May I come in?" Alex nodded slowly, moving aside to let her enter. As she stepped into the room, she looked around, her eyes taking in every detail of Alex's secret world. He could see many emotions on her face, surprise, confusion, and something else he couldn't quite figure out. She gently picked up the music box from the dresser and looked at it. "Your grandma gave you this, didn't she?" she asked, her voice soft. Alex nodded. "Yes, I play it when I'm in here. It makes me feel safe." His mother sat down on the bed, patting the space beside her. "Come, sit with me." Alex hesitated for a moment, but then walked over and sat next to her. They sat in silence for a while, the weight of the moment heavy between them. "Alex," she began. "Why didn't you tell me?" Alex looked down, playing with the hem of his dress. "I was scared," he admitted. "Scared of what you'd think, what you'd say. This is the real me, Mom, but I didn't know if you'd understand." His mother took his hand in hers. "It's a lot to take in," she said. "I won't pretend to understand everything, but I want to. You're my child, and I love you. No dress or wig will change that." Tears filled Alex's eyes. This was what he had hoped for, but had been too scared to believe. "I've felt this way for a long time," he whispered, "but I didn't know how to put it into words or how to tell you. Every night I'd come into this room and be myself, even if it was just for a little while." His mother squeezed his hand. "You shouldn't have to hide who you are, especially not from me. I'm here for you always." "But what about Dad and Lisa?" Alex asked, thinking about his father and younger sister. "What will they say?" His mother sighed. "I don't know, Alex, but we'll face that together, one step at a time." The two sat together, holding hands and talking. Alex told her about the first time he wore a dress, how it felt and why he kept it a secret. His mother listened, asking questions now and then, trying to understand her son's world. As the night wore on, Alex felt a weight lift off his shoulders. Sharing his secret with his mother, having her listen and not judge, made him feel lighter and happier. It was late when they finally decided to call it a night. Alex's mother stood up and gave him a gentle hug. "Remember, you're not alone in this. We'll figure it out together." With that, she left the room, leaving Alex with a warmth in his heart. He looked around his special place, feeling a mix of relief and hope. The journey ahead would be long and filled with challenges, but with his mother by his side, Alex felt ready to face whatever came his way. Weeks went by after that special night when Alex shared his secret with his mother. She had been kind and understanding, and Alex felt a lot better. But there was still a part of him that felt restless. He loved his dresses, but he had worn them so many times that they felt familiar now. He wanted to try something new, something different. One evening, as he was looking at his dresses, an idea popped into his head. He remembered the times he had seen his younger sister, Lisa, dressing up for parties or school events. Her closet was a treasure trove of beautiful clothes. Maybe he could try some of them on. The idea excited him, but he also felt nervous. What if Lisa found out? Waiting for a time when he was alone at home, Alex decided to venture into Lisa's room. It was very different from his own. While his room was filled with shades of blue and had a calm feeling, Lisa's room was a burst of colors. Bright pink curtains, a rainbow bedspread, and posters of popular bands and singers filled the space. In the corner of her room was a big wooden wardrobe. Alex approached it with a racing heart. He slowly opened the door and was greeted by a world of fabrics, colors, and patterns. There were dresses, skirts, tops, and so much more. Each piece looked inviting and beautiful. His eyes landed on a light blue dress that had silver stars sprinkled all over it. It looked magical. He carefully took it out and held it against himself. It seemed like the perfect fit. Alex decided to try it on. He changed into the dress, and it felt soft against his skin. The dress was flowy and reached just above his ankles. He twirled around, feeling the material float around him. Next, he looked for something to wear under the dress. In one of Lisa's drawers, he found a set of soft white undergarments that looked comfortable. After putting them on, he looked in Lisa's mirror. The reflection made him smile. The dress suited him, and he felt wonderful in it. He noticed a pair of shiny shoes at the bottom of the wardrobe. They were silver and sparkled in the light. He tried them on, and they fit. Now, fully dressed, Alex felt like he was on top of the world. But Alex's adventure didn't stop there. Lisa had a small vanity table filled with all sorts of makeup. Alex was curious. He had his own basic makeup, but Lisa's collection was vast. There were eyeshadows of every color imaginable, lipsticks in bright and soft shades, and so many different brushes. He picked a soft pink lipstick and applied it carefully. It was a bit brighter than what he was used to, but he liked it. Next, he chose a glittery eyeshadow that matched the stars on his dress. It was fun experimenting with all the colors and tools. Lost in the world of dresses and makeup, Alex didn't hear the front door open. He didn't hear the soft footsteps approaching Lisa's room. It was only when the door opened and he saw Lisa's surprised face that he realized he wasn't alone. Frozen in place, holding a makeup brush, Alex stared at his sister. The world around him seemed to stop. All the joy and excitement from a few moments ago vanished, replaced by fear. What would Lisa say? How would she react? Lisa looked at her brother, her eyes wide. The room was silent, and the tension was thick. Alex's mind raced. He wanted to explain, to tell her everything, but words escaped him. And then, just when he thought things couldn't get any more difficult, Lisa spoke. Her words, however, were not what Alex expected. "Alex," Lisa said, her voice filled with surprise. She stepped inside her room, looking at her brother from head to toe. The room felt even smaller with the two of them in it. Alex's heart beat fast in his chest, and he tried to find words, but nothing came out. He looked down, feeling the weight of the situation. Lisa's eyes wandered around the room, noticing the mess of clothes and makeup. Then she sat on her bed and said, "So, this is what you've been doing?" Alex swallowed hard. I can explain," he stammered. Lisa tilted her head, waiting. Taking a deep breath, Alex began. "I just wanted to try something different, something new. I've felt like this for a long time, but I was too scared to tell anyone." Lisa looked at him, her eyes soft. "Why my room? Why my clothes?" Alex hesitated for a moment. "I was curious," he admitted. "Your clothes always looked so beautiful, and I thought maybe, just maybe, I could see how it feels to wear them." For a while, neither of them said anything. The room was filled with a thick silence, broken only by the distant sounds of the neighborhood outside. Finally, Lisa spoke up. "You know, I kind of had an idea. I mean, not about the dressing up part, but about you feeling different." Alex looked up, surprised. "You did?" Lisa nodded. "Sometimes, when you thought no one was looking, I'd see you. Watching me and my friends, looking at our clothes, our makeup. I wasn't sure, but I had a feeling." Alex felt tears forming in his eyes. He had been so careful, so sure that he had kept his secret well hidden, but Lisa, with her sharp eyes and keen sense, had seen through him. "Do you remember," Lisa started, "when we were little and we would play dress-up? You always wanted to wear the princess dresses, and I would wear the knight's armor." A small smile appeared on Alex's face. "I remember. Those were fun times." Lisa chuckled. "Yeah, they were. I just thought you liked playing the princess. I didn't think much of it." Alex sighed. "It's not just about the dresses or the makeup. It's about how I feel inside. When I wear these clothes, I feel happy, like I'm being true to myself." Lisa reached out and took Alex's hand. "I don't understand it all," she admitted. "But I want to be there for you, just like you've always been there for me." Tears spilled down Alex's face. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. They sat there for a long time, talking and sharing. Alex told Lisa about his special room, about the night their mom found out, and about the happiness he felt when dressing up. Lisa listened, asking questions and trying to understand. As they talked, the room seemed to grow warmer, filled with a sense of comfort and safety. The earlier tension was gone, replaced by a bond of trust and understanding. After what felt like hours, Lisa stood up and went to her wardrobe. She pulled out a purple dress with tiny white flowers on it. "Try this," she said, handing it to Alex. "I think it'll look great on you." Alex smiled, taking the dress. "Thank you," he said, his voice filled with gratitude. The two of them spent the rest of the afternoon trying on different outfits, laughing and taking pictures. It was a day Alex would never forget, a day filled with love, acceptance, and the joy of being oneself. When the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the room, Alex and Lisa knew it was time to face the next challenge, telling their dad. With a deep breath and hands held tight, they left Lisa's room ready to share Alex's truth with the most important person in their lives. The golden light from the setting sun streamed into the living room, painting everything in a warm glow. Their dad, Mr. Thompson, was sitting on the couch reading the evening paper. The TV was on, playing soft music in the background. Everything seemed so normal, yet for Alex and Lisa, this moment was anything but ordinary. Taking a deep breath, Alex stepped into the living room, closely followed by Lisa. They approached their dad slowly, both their hearts racing. Mr. Thompson looked up from his paper, noticing his children's serious faces. "What's going on?" he asked, setting the paper aside. Alex looked at Lisa for support. She gave him a small nod, urging him to speak. Clearing his throat, Alex began, "Dad, there's something I need to tell you." Mr. Thompson leaned back, his face showing concern. "All right, what is it?" Taking another deep breath, Alex continued, "For a long time now, I've felt different. I've felt like I wasn't being true to myself. I've been dressing up, trying to understand and express my feelings." The room was silent. Mr. Thompson looked at Alex, waiting for him to continue. Seeing her brother's hesitation, Lisa stepped in. "Alex likes to wear dresses and makeup, Dad. He's been doing it secretly for a while now. He just wants to be happy and true to himself." Mr. Thompson's eyes moved between Alex and Lisa, taking in what they had just said. The weight of the moment hung in the air, making it hard for Alex to breathe. Finally, after what felt like hours, Mr. Thompson spoke. "Is this why you've been so quiet lately? Always locking yourself in your room?" Alex nodded. "Yes, Dad. I was scared. Scared of how you'd react. Scared of what you'd think." Mr. Thompson sighed, rubbing his temples. "I won't pretend to understand everything, Alex. But you're my son and I love you. If this makes you happy, then that's what matters." Tears welled up in Alex's eyes. "Really, Dad?" Mr. Thompson nodded. "Really? All I want is for you to be happy and safe." Lisa beamed, her eyes shining with relief. "Thanks, Dad," she said, giving him a tight hug. Alex approached his dad, hugging him tightly. The weight that had been pressing down on him for so long finally lifted. The love and acceptance from his family meant the world to him. The three of them sat down on the couch with Alex in the middle. They talked about everything, from Alex's feelings to the clothes he liked to wear. Mr. Thompson listened patiently, asking questions and trying to understand. I just want to be myself, Dad," Alex said. "I want to wear what I feel comfortable in, and I want to be happy." Mr. Thompson nodded. "I understand, son. Just remember, always be true to yourself and never let anyone make you feel less than who you are." The night went on, with the family sharing stories, laughing, and even shedding a few tears. It was a night of healing, of understanding, and of love. The clock struck midnight, signaling the end of a long and emotional day. The Thompsons got up, stretching their tired bodies. "Let's get some rest," Mr. Thompson said. "We have a big day tomorrow." Alex looked at him, puzzled. "What's tomorrow?" Mr. Thompson smiled. "Tomorrow we go shopping. You need some new dresses, right?" Alex's eyes widened in surprise. "Really?" Mr. Thompson nodded. "Yes, really, and I'm coming with you. We'll make it a family day." Lisa clapped her hands in excitement. "It's going to be so much fun." Alex felt a warmth spread through him. The love and support from his family were more than he could have ever hoped for. With them by his side, he knew he could face anything. As the Thompsons headed to their rooms, the house was filled with a sense of peace and happiness. The challenges ahead might be many, but together they would face them, united by love and understanding. And with that, the family went to sleep, looking forward to the new adventures the next day would bring. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.